Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel today. We're going to be talking about something that I think a lot of you will really benefit from, especially if you're someone who considers yourself logical, thoughtful, or more on the analytical side. This is 7 things smart men should never do with women. And I'm saying this from a woman's perspective, not to criticize or to shame, but to help you avoid the things that quietly sabotage your success with women, often without you even realizing it. A lot of guys out there are doing everything right. They're kind, respectful, stable, successful, but still struggling to make that romantic connection, if that sounds like you. These subtle behaviors might be the missing piece. Okay, number 1. Don't over-explain yourself. Smart men tend to be pretty self-aware, which is great, but it can sometimes lead to over-explaining or justifying things that just don't need justification. For example, you might say something harmless and then immediately follow it up with, "I didn't mean that in a weird way," or, "Just to be clear, I wasn't trying to offend you." You're trying to be respectful, but from a woman's perspective, it can start to feel like you're walking on eggshells or don't trust your own intentions. Women are very intuitive when it comes to confidence. So if you said something and you meant it with good intentions, just own it. The more you explain yourself, the less confident and grounded you come across. And ironically, that can make a woman question your character more, not less. 2. Don't confuse politeness with attraction. This is a really common blind spot that I see. Just because a woman is smiling, laughing at your jokes, or talking to you, doesn't necessarily mean that she's into you. A lot of women are naturally warm and polite, especially in social situations. The key difference is effort. Is she asking you questions or just responding to yours? Is she engaging deeper when you try to connect, or is she keeping it surface level? Is she initiating texts, making time to see you, or showing any signs that she's investing? Smart men often overvalue politeness because they assume that effort equals interest. But a woman can be polite and completely uninterested at the same time. Recognizing that key difference will save you a ton of time, confusion, and heartache. Number 3. Don't be indecisive to be nice. Trying to be accommodating is totally understandable. You don't want to come across as controlling or dismissive. But what usually ends up happening is you constantly default to whatever you want, or "I'm cool with anything," and it starts to feel like you're not bringing anything to the equation. Women appreciate when a man has a plan. You can say, "I made a reservation at this place. I think you'd like. Let me know if that works for you." It's confident, but still gives her room to speak up if she has a preference. It shows initiative and thoughtfulness, 2 things that women naturally gravitate towards. Indecisiveness creates friction and uncertainty. Leadership creates safety and direction, even in small things like planning a date. Number 4, don't try to win her over with your resume. I've talked about this extensively, but I think it's worth mentioning again. A lot of guys think that in order to be attractive, they need to prove themselves through their job, their goals, their discipline, their status. And while those things do matter to a degree, they're not the deciding factor, whether or not she feels drawn to you. You might be successful, but if you're constantly name-dropping, flexing your schedule, or reminding her how productive or goal-oriented you are, It starts to feel like you're campaigning instead of connecting. Let your accomplishments speak through your energy, your habits, and your presence, not your monologue. Remember, you're not trying to sell her something. Focus on connecting instead of impressing. Number 5. Don't overthink every single move. This is a huge one. Smart men often want to get everything right. The perfect text, the perfect conversation, the perfect timing. But overthinking kills any natural connection. You're spending so much time trying to manage the outcome that you forget to actually be in the moment. And I totally get it. Overthinking usually comes from fear. A fear of messing up, a fear of rejection, a fear of being misunderstood. But what ends up happening is that you feel stiff, robotic, and disconnected. And she's going to pick up on that instead of trying to anticipate every possible reaction that she might have. Just slow down, be present, say what you actually think, not what you think she wants to hear. The right woman doesn't want a polished performance. She wants you. Number 6, don't use humor as a shield. Being funny is a fabulous trait, but when humor becomes your go-to strategy to avoid any kind of vulnerability or realness, it turns into a barrier instead of a bridge. Let's say, for example, the conversation starts to get a little bit more personal. She shares something meaningful to her, and of responding sincerely, you crack a joke or change the subject. You might not even realize that you're doing it. It's often a way of staying in control, but from her side, it can feel like you're emotionally unavailable or scared to open up. Humor is so attractive when it complements your depth, not when it replaces it. So let her see that you can be both playful and sincere. That balance is what creates real connection. Number 7, don't neglect the power of subtle flirting. A lot of smart guys play it safe. You don't want to be too forward or make her uncomfortable, which is a good thing. But when you stay too neutral, she might not even realize that you're interested. Flirting does not have to be over the top. It can be a well-timed compliment, lingering eye contact, subtle teasing, or just the way you look at her when she's talking. Those moments create the feeling that this isn't just a nice conversation. There's something more here. Being respectful and being flirtatious are not mutually exclusive. When you combine both, that is where attraction really starts to build. So those are 7 things smart men should avoid doing with women. If you want to make a strong, lasting connection, you don't need to change who you are. You just need to get out of your own way. Sometimes, be confident in your presence. Trust your instincts, and don't over-intellectualize something that's meant to be felt, not calculated. So that's all I have for this one. If you liked it or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more advice from a woman's perspective. And let me know down in the comments, have you ever caught yourself doing any of these things, or maybe you've learned to stop doing them? I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences down below, if you haven't already. Also be sure to follow me guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.